newer, aggressive, younger investors that have the time but don't have the capital, and we put them together. She puts under contract for $34,000. It appraised for $150,000.
Wow.
She bought a fourplex, and at the same time, she bought a single-family house for herself.
I want to say, for the people that don't know you, that are new here, that are watching, who is Mark? What do you do today? And how have you been able to build a real estate empire and transact over $2 billion?
Mark is just like anybody. Mark gets up in the morning, makes a cup of coffee. Tomorrow's not given to you. It's not promised. So you need to make a change today. You need to do it now.
When do you actually do it correctly while investing in real estate and making money from it? How do I balance and manage the money correctly in order to do both things? Throughout your career, I was here on a podcast right before this, you have been able to transact over $2 billion in real estate. Very few people had actually been able to say that, right? I want to say, for the people that don't know you, that are new here, that are watching, who is Mark? What do you do today? And how have you been able to build a real estate empire and transact over $2 billion?
Mark is just like anybody. Mark gets up in the morning, makes a cup of coffee. I have the same worries, whether my children are going to be safe, they're going to have a great day, whether, I'm going to get to where I'm going on time, which is definitely hard here in South Florida.
Yes.
And I always have that motto that if you're not early, you're late, because my father said that when you show up late, it shows a level of disrespect to another person. It tells them the message that your time is more valuable. So once again, I apologize for my tardiness. I completely, with all the things going on in my life, I was working out. I didn't even look at my schedule this morning. And I'm up at 5. Today I got up at, 4:52, but usually I'm up at 4:30 to 5. So I built it one property at a time. You don't travel 1,000 miles in 100-mile spurts. You travel 1 mile at a time. So when I bought my first property, when I was in college, I was able to create some value, sell it very quickly, and take those proceeds and exchange it, do a 1031 like-kind exchange, into 2 bigger buildings. And I did the same thing. And by the time I graduated, I had 58 apartments, 58 units.
Wow.
Took a job at a savings and loan, learned about the commercial banking business, and was also able to buy deals directly from the bank I worked for, because they had a real estate owned department. For all you guys don't know, it's called a REO, real estate owned department. And I was able to really build up a portfolio. And then once I hit 400 units and stopped actually working my units and came inside and just worked deals, I grew super rapidly. And we built up the most I think we ever had under ownership and management was about 15,000 units in total in 14 different states. We were doing quite a few deals south of 5th, 315, 321 Ocean, 304, 312, 221 Jeff, 245 Michigan. Then we had a whole block, the Carly Beach Club on Washington between 19th and 21st Street. We bought Collins Park. That deal during the difficulties I gave back. But that was a development deal. Joe Shitrid is actually finishing it. So we've done a lot of stuff. We've built a lot of stuff. We've bought, repositioned multiple properties, and I love it.
Why do you love real estate so much, especially in today's climate?
Well, there's no climate that's good or bad. It's just good or bad deals. And it's financially engineering the deals properly. Some new developers will do deals where they'll push and they'll stretch. a little too far, or they don't understand. And I'll tell you, there's a deal here. I actually tried to buy last year with the Kaufmans. I don't know if you know them.
No.
Jerry Kaufman did Mystic Point. He did Hidden Bay. He's done a multiple deals up here before Aventura and Sunny Isles was Sunny Isles. The partner in Mystic Point was Tom Daly. Tom Daly was George Perez's partner in Ocean 1, 2, 3, and 4. And other related deals like Apogee, South of 5th, and stuff like that. So we tried to buy a deal. I'm trying to think of the name. The sales center was in Loman's Plaza. You remember it?
No. I'm originally from Dominican Republic, and I lived in Indiana. I've lived here quite a bit in Miami, but I don't know too many areas here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where the it's in the Loman's Plaza. They still call that Loman's Plaza?
I have no idea where Lomas Plaza is.
It's right here in Aventura, across from the bagel place, Moe's. You know where Moe's is?
No.
In Aventura?
Mm-mm.
There's a clothing store. They sell Pals Larry, which is a designer I like.
No.
European fashions, I think.
Well, my girl is the one who puts and gets me everything. I don't.
Nice. Nice.
So I don't know. I learned about Ferragamo and all these other brands. I had no idea what any of them were before I met her. So she's the one that, hey, put your uniform. I'm like, okay, I'll put my uniform.
Well, it's funny because my first wife, she was very good friends with Gucci and Prada and Louis. I didn't know what that stuff was.
Yeah.
And she's like, nah, you're not going to wear that. And get rid of those shoes. I'm like, what's wrong with my shoes? I like my shoes.
They're comfortable.
They were like $100, I said to her. This is a long time ago because I got married in 1987. And that was my first marriage. And she did the same thing. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. So, question for you is, the reason why I asked about the climate in today's day and age, right, is because interest rates are high. Here in South Florida, people say it's hard to find deals, right?
It's not.
It's not.
No.
Okay.
No.
So, and actually, I want to show you a deal that literally a friend of mine sent me yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, for you to tell me if it's good or not. Okay. But basically, right now, to me, like right now, I don't own any real estate. I do own oil, like actual oil rigs, but I don't own any real estate. I do want to get to it, but I haven't been able to find deals because it's also not my field that I understand. Like I understand the online space or the sales and marketing, or even now oil. So,
are your oil wells the old derricks, the old pump jacks?
Well, I'm sure you know Robert Kiyosaki.
I do.
So we are the ones behind the scenes running all the Spanish side, Rich Side Latino. We recently did a big event here in Miami and another one in Mexico City. And I was able to get connected to the person that handles a lot of the oil stuff for them. The oil rigs that I invested in, and my girl too, is I think in Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So they're older, mature wells that they're redoing.
No, they're drilling. They're new wells. They're drilling.
Drilling new wells.
Correct. And the risk that I have is obviously the price of the oil, and that when they drill, that there's not enough oil that they thought.
Right.
So, but based on the numbers, it's like 50 to 20% a year in cash flow, and then in 5 years they just flip it to a bigger corporation or something like that buys. I'm like, okay, that's a good deal. Because I don't have to do much, and I don't have to deal with tenants, for example.
You want to be passive.
Correct. I want it to be passive so I can focus on what I'm the best at. So, and obviously
it makes a lot of sense.
And it has a lot of depreciation and benefits from a tax perspective.
Celebrated depreciation.
Correct.
On the wells.
It's like I get 80% of every dollar that I put in 2 years, so I can depreciate 80% of whatever money.
It went down to 60 in 2025.
Really?
Yeah.
I did it in 2024.
But it'll go up. It'll go back up, I think, with this administration.
Correct.
To 100%.
I think so too. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, how can you find good deals in real estate when people, or you hear the news or whatever, interest rates are high, there's no good deals, especially in South Florida, everything's expensive, and nothing cash flows. So how can I do that?
That's a great question, and I love this question. We just bought a deal out of the box in Greater Houston at an 11 cap on a T3, which is trailing 90 days.
What is, for people that don't know, what is an 11 cap?
11 cap is an 11% capitalization on your money, so that's what your money grows at on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Okay. Most people here in South Florida, like other real estate apartment operators, I'm not going to say his name, buys deals at a 3 cap.
Okay.
Now this
An
deal
11
is
cap. It's like
this deal's a B product.
yeah.
Okay. What he buys is A product. So as you come in on Biscayne over by the train station, some of the new product, that would be considered A product because it's new. But if you come over here on Collins and it's non-condominium and it's an apartment deal, it's going to be closer to an A product. But based if it's 5 years or newer, it's A. But if it's 6 years or older, it's going to come down. Even though it's a quality deal, okay? This is a condominium, right? The A product is going to have a higher yield, so therefore and a lower risk, therefore the cap rate is a little bit lower.
Got it.
Institutions like BlackRock, they'll buy 3s, high 2s, 4s. They don't want to actually do the work to lift the value. We, because that's the way I was trained, was to create value, to force appreciation, to find value by reducing the tax basis, by putting solar into your property and selling the kilowatts. And those numbers go to the bottom line. So we like to be in red states. This deal we just bought was from the remnants of the failed Silicon Valley Bank. And it was the first of the 28 deals that they sold off, or the FDIC sold off to a bank called First Citizens, which is a Florida bank. And this was the first deal that they peeled off. And we worked pretty hard to close the deal. It took us 126 days to get it closed. Small deal, 106 units.
That's small.
But we'll make a quick $8 million on the deal very, very fast. My students bought it with me. We got it financed 100%. They financed it at non-recourse at a 519 rate for 60 months interest only. And now we're working on our next and our next and our next from them. So buying these deals all comes based on relationships. So I bought all my deals that are from distress. I bought from what's called the RTC. And when you were born, 1992 was when I did my first RTC deal.
What is
which
RTC?
So it stood for the Resolution Trust Corporation, which was created to take over when the savings and loans failed. This is the last financial crisis in the early 90s, because we always have history repeating itself. So you always see these 10-year cycles in real estate. Now, I've been through 4 major cycles and 2 smaller cycles. And I've lost money in some of them because you can't help it. But even when I was losing money on one side, I was buying deals on the other side to bring my average cost down. Like when you buy a stock that's high and then the price goes down, you dollar cost average down. It's no different in the apartment space. Same thing. The better you get at operating, the more money you're going to make. So there are a lot of guys that know how to buy things, finance things, raise money, but they lack one thing. They can't execute. Okay? Now, take a developer like the Desert family, okay? Gil, so to speak, that built this building. Okay. And some of the other things. He knows how to execute. Okay. Take our current president. Those were some of the first deals here. Take his unrelated family, Julius Trump and his brother. They know how to execute. Take George Perez. He was partners with Steve Ross. Now they're not. They know how to execute. Probably one of the guys that goes to my temple, you probably never even heard of his company. His name is Russell Gilbert. His company is called Crescent Heights.
No, I never heard of it.
They're probably the largest developer in the country next to Steve Ross or Larry Silverstein. They're the biggest of the big. Okay, that's not institutional. Take a guy like Joe Milton. You ever heard of the Miltons?
No.
The Milton family is the largest apartment owner in South Florida, and you'd never know who they are. Take a guy named Pedro Martin. You might know who his son is, David Martin from Terra Group. Very good developer.
Okay.
Okay. So all these guys, they do one thing. They execute. They have the proper capital stack. And they don't do deals that puts them in harm's way. Okay. Or like the people that we partnered with on our deal in Malibu, BH3, who built the stuff behind us on the little island, Privé. And that's why we changed the name to, instead of, what was the name of the property when we bought it? The Cavalieri. Charlie Sheen lives there, the actor. We changed the name to Privé because they became the dominant partner because they wrote the $36 million check. We just kept $7.5 million in the deal.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
because we couldn't get it closed. Great deal. Nobody wanted to do the deal.
Got it. So if I'm hearing correctly, right now, for example, the deal that you explained with
106 units, Vanderbilt Lodge. Yes.
Small. I mean, you tell me that, I'm like,
tiny deal.
for me, it's like, that's a very big deal, right?
Well, okay. So remember, I started doing this back in 1983. My first deal was 3 units.
Got it.
Then the next deal I bought was 2 6s, so that was 12.
Okay.
Then I bought a 12 on the same street, and it was all next to a college. I used the same platform. I created the units, made them a little nicer, and leased them to the college students, but the parents guaranteed the rent. And I was able to charge a higher rent. Who told me to do that? My mother.
Got it.
She was a commercial real estate broker.
Okay.
So I didn't know how to do it. She told me how to do it.
Yeah. Would that same strategy work in nowadays or not really?
Of
Yeah?
course.
Okay.
So when you say that, does it work today? Absolutely. Are we finding deals here in South Florida, in the state of Florida? Absolutely. One of our students, his name is Jason Lepore, and he just bought a deal in Winter Haven. He renovated it and is now refinancing it, and he's taking, now this is his first deal, his first real estate deal. He's taking $70,000 out of it, and he did it in 90 days. And now he's buying 2 properties with that $70,000. He still has the property, he still has the appreciation, he still has about $600 a month in cash flow. Now, why do I push my students to do that? Because I want them to understand it on a tangible level of doing it.
Yeah.
Once they do that, they can then leverage it up to the next level and then the next level. So my first student, Lydia Walker, June 20th, 2 weeks, we were on Zooms twice a week, and we would stare at each other. I got to know her whole life. She came to my wedding. Too bad it's not, so these are, in Hebrew, we believe things, everything that God gives us, everything is for the good.
Yep.
So Lydia, she bought her first deal. She calls me one day. I'm actually at the pickleball courts in Miami Beach playing pickleball. And she said, I have a wholesaler on the phone. I want to buy his deal in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm like, okay, merge me in. So I walked away from the courts and I'm talking to this guy. And, I said to the guy, I said, look, we need at least a 10-day inspection period. And he's like, I only have 2 days to close. I'm like, well, we're not going to buy the property from you. And she's like, well, hold on. I'm like, no, Lydia, you're not going to buy the property without an inspection.
Yeah.
She's like, okay. I said, all right, let's go to another market. She said, where? I said, we're going to go to St. Louis, Missouri. So we went to St. Louis. She found another property, put it under contract, and they refused to let her in to do the inspection. We found out later it had a fire. Third property, she puts under contract for $34,000. $34,000. This is her first property. Small property, a 2-1. She added a bathroom. She turned it into a 2-2. She put another 35 into it. It appraised for $150,000.
Wow.
She took all that money out. She bought a fourplex, and at the same time, she bought a single-family house for herself. So her second and her third deal, which gave her now 6 units. And then now she's buying the 18 unit. And her goal was, by the end of this year, was to have $8,000 a month in cash flow, because that's their monthly expenses. And her fiance, then now husband, wanted to retire, and I told him, you're not retiring. You just keep working until she needs you. Just keep working. Don't retire. And she's a shining star. We actually offered her a job. Everybody that works for us came through us. We trained them.
Yeah.
And offered her a job, and she's like, no, I want to be a full-time real estate investor. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, I want to learn multifamily. So what do? We gave her a multifamily program for free because she is very special.
All right. So she has been able to build $8,000 in cash flow over the last year. Right. That was her goal.
Yeah.
She was the first student. Now, for somebody, for example, who's an entrepreneur, has his own business, like myself, or somebody who's starting out in the real estate space from complete zero, what will be your advice today if they wanted to make their first $10,000 a month as a real estate investor? Y si ese clip del episodio de Actitud Millonaria te ha gustado, dale click aquí para ver el episodio completo. Y si tú quieres aprender cómo generar ingresos a través del internet utilizando un sistema de ventas que ya está comprobado, que hoy en día ha ayudado a mi padre a hacer más de $200,000 en comisiones personales en los últimos 12 meses, que ha ayudado a Jorge desde Paraguay a hacer hasta $20,000 mensuales, a Matías de Argentina y a Karen de Chile hasta hacer $1,000 en un solo día, y a cientos de otras personas a hacer exactamente lo mismo, dale click aquí para un entrenamiento completamente gratis que te explica más a fondo cómo te puedes convertir en un vendedor digital certificado.